What's happening? Happy Monday. Hope you're all good. Welcome to this morning's Rise to Thrive show. So, we've got a quick question to start the show. And the question starts with: how would you feel if you woke up on the 31st of December um, and nothing had changed? Nothing about your life had changed. Your body hadn't changed. Your career hadn't moved forwards. The way that you showed up hadn't changed. Your habits, your routines, none of it had changed. And you woke up in that position um, where you were still exactly the same on the 31st of December as where you are right now. And that would be pretty frustrating. I think when I ask myself that question, the answer often is pretty bleak. I'd feel pretty shit about it. Um, so yeah, I think like one of the things we're going to sort of look at today's show is like how do we avoid that? Okay, and what are the steps that we put into play to avoiding that? So let's get into it. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I'm your host, James Baldwin. If you are coming through, then please do let me know, either with watching back or watching live. So one of the first things that we are going to, or there's two things that I really need to give you in terms of information. Number one is that we are going to be running a mission mastery masterclass, which will be running from um, the 22nd of May, okay, from 8 o'clock BST time. And we're going to be running a 5-step strategy for people who want to create a path to success for the rest of 2024. Okay. And then the second thing that we're looking at doing is that we feel like we've tested the YouTube going live with the Rise to Thrive shows, and we feel that we might be taking these back to Facebook. So we haven't fully decided yet, but we're going to let you know. It just presents a lot of more ease for people to be able to access. People have had struggle trying to get into watch the YouTube for some reason. I don't know why, but I think we're going to maybe take the show back to Facebook, but we're going to make a decision that by the end of May, and we will let you know. Okay, but certainly to the end of May, we're going to be staying on YouTube. You've got to test these things, right? If you don't test them, you never know, and that's the thing. So let's crack on with the show. So one of the things that I did at the weekend that I have not done in a while was go out. Okay, actually socialize, and one of the reasons that I did socialize is because I kept on asking myself the question in terms of my own accountability, was if I never change this, if I wake up in 5 years or 1 year and or by the end of the year and nothing has changed, um, how would I feel? How would I feel if I kept on being a bit of an introvert? How would I feel if I carried on not socializing? How would I feel if I kept on making excuses about why I wasn't going out and socializing and trying to get out of my introvert ways? And that was and I did not like the answer. So I had the opportunity to go out Friday night with all some of my jiu-jitsu guys, and then on Saturday night just with some old school guys who I used to train. And I wanted to get out and I wanted to go and break the mold. And I remember sitting here on Saturday night and I was watching Nottingham Forest and Chelsea and thinking, God, I couldn't be asked to go out. I didn't want to go out. Okay. And I sat down and went, I was having literally this conversation with myself. Just get out, just go and do it, just break the mold. And I did. And I did on both days. And I felt glad that I did. And whenever we need to look at the things, the gap that we need to fill between where we are right now and where we need to be to feel like we're progressing and that we're growing and that we're moving forwards with our lives, that's usually the things that will make us or help us find purpose, create direction, embrace life. I kind of felt like I was embracing life a little bit more at the weekend by going out, by connecting with other people, by socializing. And it's almost something that I had lost or gotten out of the habit of doing. So, in order for us to fulfill our potential, it might be that you keep avoiding the gym. The gym is something that, or a relationship is something that you keep missing, that you keep falling short of. There's always an excuse why you can't go to the gym. There's always an excuse why you can't be consistent, right? It's easy to be lazy. It is easy to be lazy. It's easy to stay at home. It's easy to say you're tired. It's easy to, but like in the 6 months, by the end of the year, we might get to that point and go, imagine if I had started 6 months, I might be 2 stone light, I might have more energy, I might be in a much better routine, right? And it's the same with your relationships, it's the same with your career. It's like we sit on these things because it's so easy. Being lazy is easy. Okay, giving ourselves excuses, justifying the reasons we're not showing up with excuses is easy. But ultimately, we have to still face the consequences. And the consequences is that if you wake up in 6 months and nothing's changed, how would you feel? If you woke up in 5 years and nothing had changed, how would you feel? And that's always the counter. That's always the sacrifice to laziness. It's the pain, it's the suffering, it's the frustration. It's looking at other people that have grown and having to confront the man in the mirror and deal with that emotion that you didn't show up. And sometimes the stark truth can be the driver, the fire, the motivator, the inspiration to go and show up and be 1% better. Okay. So for anyone that's just joining late, we are doing our missionary masterclass. And we're going to be basically putting 5 steps in play for people to achieve more in the next 6 months, so that when they wake up on the 31st of December, they have achieved more between this point here right now, when we run it on the 22nd of May, to the 31st of December, and they would have achieved more than they did in the previous 12 months. And that's the mentality that we have, because it has to be about knowing your mission, finding the purpose, creating a direction, and embracing the life. Okay. And that's what we're going to do. And that's what you must do. Do something today that moves you forwards. Do something today that you normally put off. Change the habit, change the routine, self master yourself. Find the actions that you need to take to get you to the outcomes that you want, to get you to the place that you want to be, the feelings, the emotions that you have of it, right? Fulfillment. And that becomes the journey, boys and girls, if you're watching. Like, that becomes the journey. That becomes the process. That becomes your success. That becomes your mission. That becomes your driver. That becomes everything that you want to achieve. And if we can just keep remembering the consequences of not showing up, which is, where are you going to be in 6 months? Where are you going to be in 5 years? And you don't like the answer, and if you're still the same, if you're still the same in 6 months from where you are now, that's got to be the driver, because that version of you is waiting in 6 months and he's praying that you show up so that they have a better life. Okay. Short and sharp, boys. We'll see you again on Friday, 6 o'clock in the morning. Remember, today we've got the episode 4 of the deep dive of the Remember the Mission. Okay. So if you're around on Facebook, at 1 o'clock, I'll be going through the 3rd chapter, and we're unpacking that. The link to register for the masterclass will be in the description once I've hung up here, and you can register your places. There are limited places, so don't procrastinate. Do something that's going to help you progress by the end of the year. All right, boys, have a